Yet preaching the gospel is not something I can boast about. I am compelled by God to do it. How terrible for me if I did not preach the gospel.
Travis, this used to be my grandfather's farm. Across the road and on the other side over there, I can see my cousin over yonder in the field walking. Dog. Here's where it looks like. But all this property here, when they built Norris Lake, and they lived up on the Powell River, moved them to that little white house right there. You can't see it, that brick house between that two-story house right there, and 8 boys, and they come here and grew up here in this Greenback community. And this church here is Morgan Church. In 1970, Tellico Dam was being built, and they wanted to move this out again. And we're like two miles from the lake, and that didn't happen. But anyhow, the old church, the first church my dad took as a pastor, and would have been in 1959 or 1960, because I was 9 years old when we was there. And it was Morgan Baptist Church. It's on Baker's Creek down there on where Baker's Creek is on Tellico Lake, and it was Morgan Baptist Church, the same church. When they built that dam and it's backed up, they moved, and grandmother gave them this place here to have as a church location. So it was moved from there to there, and it's actually on my grandmother and grandfather's old farm. They lotted this out for the church. I mean, like so many people that we want to put fishing, hunting. I mean, that's all I've ever done, Travis, is in the outdoors, hunting, fishing, training dogs, hunting for bow since I was 9 or 10 years old. I don't have a clue how many deer I have harvested over the years, but I know I've killed 102 whitetail with my bow. I was on the PSC pro staff. I was bow tech I had my own bow shop for a while. Trained over 200 gun dogs or dogs over the years. Fished, turkey hunted, did turkey seminars, did hunting seminars, did archery seminars. All these things, see, that is where we get in our life. We put other things before God. And because of growing up as a preacher's kid and living and seeing everything my dad went through, and we had a relationship. I was 9 years old. We had a relationship that where he went, I went. And all of a sudden, that time that me and him would be together, he was busy studying, preparing for messages that I understand now. And I didn't understand back then. And I can remember one time I knew I'd been called to preach at a young age, but I just wasn't going to do it. I refused. I run. And I remember one time I was probably 12. I said, Dad, this crappie's really hitting. He said, well, son, I'd love to go. But he said, I've got to prepare. And I've got this Saturday off. He happened to be off that Saturday. I've got to prepare for Sunday night, and Wednesday night. And I've got to see what the Lord wants me to preach. I didn't understand, Dad. And I said, hey, it can't be that hard. I tell you what, you just get Sunday morning bread. I'll do Sunday night. I'll preach Sunday night. He took me up on it. I've never been scared in nothing in my life, and I remember that. And about 2 or 3 verses and looking out at everybody looking at me, I said, this ain't for me. Even though I knew I'd been called to do this, but my heart wasn't where he could use me. And so, bring a long story short, I know over the period of time I'll be able to bring you guys along of ventures that I went on and been things that I've learned just because of mistakes I made. And I said, so that way when I talked to Travis about doing something like this, I talked to him and I said, you know, I'm 73 years old. I said, I have a lot of knowledge that is going to leave with me. And I want people to understand that God has a purpose in their life, but I also want them to understand that God's creations, that He has it for us to appreciate and serve Him and see Him when we're doing it and put Him first in our lives.